Here's 3 exercises you can do for your tight hips in 5 minutes that are going to give you way better results than fucking around on a foam roller. But before we get into that, let me explain why the foam roller isn't working. It's not getting the bones moving. Bear with me on this one. Bones create movement and therefore cause muscles to lengthen or shorten. In this case, the pelvis, or what you call the hips, is this massive bone, and the femur, which is the bone between your knee and your hip, aren't being taken through their full range of motion. This can cause the muscles and tissues around these areas to shorten and become weak and potentially tight. And this is simply why the foam roller isn't doing anything at all, and it's a complete waste of time because it's not getting these bones moving, therefore it's not causing these muscles to lengthen and shorten, and therefore they're being stuck in a particular position, which is causing that feeling of tightness and is restricting your hip mobility. So the first exercise in this circuit is the scissor slide. Set up lying down next to a wall. Your knees are going to be at 90 degrees. Your feet are going to go flat on the wall. Imagine you've got paint on the bottom of your feet and you can't move them off the wall. So your feet stay flat on the wall, they can't move. Pop your hand on your top hip / glute. And then what you're going to practice doing is rolling that top knee over the bottom knee. Have a look at how I'm doing it. So nice and slow. All of that movement is coming from the hip. None of it's coming from any other part of the lower body. So nothing's coming from the knee. And you should feel a really nice opening sensation in your lower back, but also a really nice contraction in your glute on that top leg. Start off really nice and slow. Just practice the movement because it can be a bit different to what you've tried previously. It's nothing like any strength movements or stretching. So just practice that and just ease into it. Go for 2 sets of 20 reps on each side. After you finish that, we want to go straight into the curtsy lunge. So there's nothing complex about this. All you're going to do is lunge back and to the side with that back leg. So you should get a nice stretch on that glute. With your foot pressure, I just want you to be conscious that the weight is being transferred from the inside of your foot to the outside of your foot. You don't need to actively cue this with your foot, but just be aware of it. Think about, the weight's going from the inside to the outside, and then on the way back up as you stand up, it's coming from the outside of your foot to the inside of your foot. If you're not feeling that, then actively think about cueing it, but only do that if you can't feel anything happen in terms of a weight shift. Go for 2 sets of 10 reps on this exercise and add in some light dumbbells if needed. The other way to make this more difficult is just to increase the height of the lunge. So you can add plates in there and then just step up with your front leg. This creates a bigger height that you have to step down, which increases the stretch on the glute in that bottom position. The last exercise is a split lunge with a med ball slam. Now, the best way to do this is to get a 1 to 2 kilo med ball that bounces. So make sure it bounces, make sure it's not one of these slam balls that you get in the gym where you just slam down and there's no bounce. If you haven't got one of these, you can buy these off Amazon or Google for literally like 10, 12 quid. I'll stick the link down below in the description if you haven't got one of these. This is a really simple exercise. Again, set up in this split stance position, hold the med ball in your hand, and you're simply going to slam on each side, alternating, and then round the world is as you swap to the other side. Make sure you're nice and relaxed with this. Don't be too strict. Let your hips and spine move. Go for 2 sets of 30 seconds and increase the power as you get more comfortable with this exercise. If you enjoyed that video, YouTube will recommend another one for you to watch somewhere up here. If you want to jump in and work with me straight away, if you're dealing with an injury or pain, you can check out my online coaching as well via the links down below.